Here we have an MSI GP66 Leopard. Title says dead laptop. We already disassembled the board. And we're gonna see what's going on. But first, let's go over the customer's description of the problem. The customer wrote, referral, our YouTube channel description, was watching a YouTube video and the laptop froze, unable to power it off. Battery eventually died. Laptop suddenly died. If this was an Asus laptop, I would automatically assume it's a short circuit. But MSIs are different. They fail in the weirdest ways. Asus laptops are notorious for just failing. While watching a video or while using the laptop, they power off and a short circuit happens. You know what? Let me power on the board and inspect it under a thermal camera. I just want to see if there is any signs of life on the board, just to speed things up. Power is plugged in. That's one side of the board. It ends here. And look at this. We have a heat spot right over here. It looks like heat may be coming from back of the board because heat looks diffused. Let me flip the board. Anytime heat looks diffused, it's usually back of the board. You see? Heat is more concentrated here. And that's a chip. Okay, good. And what is this? It's a 1285 chip. A very common chip on laptops. 5, and 12. Let's measure pin number 12 for 19 volts. And we can measure 19 volts here. We do have 19.54 volts. That's good. We can measure VRAG 5. Should be pin number 13. So right next to it. We do not have 5 volts. And if we measure pin number 3, VRAG 3, for 3.3 volts, and look at this, I'm getting 0.466 volts and not 3.3 volts. I went over this issue before on a different laptop, and I explained how this chip communicates with the Super I/O chip for the voltages. What ohms reading do we have for pin number 3? 21 ohms. The line is being pulled down, and very likely the Super I/O chip, or it could be this chip itself. Very rare, but I've seen it happen. The question is, where is the Super I/O chip on the board? Right there. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Do you see what I see? We see a hole in that chip. And I went over an MSI laptop where we had to replace the Super I/O chip, and we were not sure if we have to program that chip in order for the laptop to work. And we tried it, and the laptop worked. So the programming happens when you turn the laptop on. It reprograms itself from BIOS. So we do not have to reprogram that chip. I went over this in one of my videos, and I bought extra chips back then. But I'm not sure if we have the same chip or if this one is different. Which one is this? This is the KB9548 GF2 or 6F2. Let me see which one I have. I only have this one in the shop, and we cannot remove the same chip from another laptop. It has to be an empty chip. Exactly the same chip. Amazing, amazing. So let's go ahead and replace it. Hopefully that will fix our problem. The damage is obvious. We have 0.4 volts on the 1285A chip and not 3.3 volts. 5 volts is also missing. Look at this. Is that a hole? Yes, it's a hole. All right. Let's go ahead and replace the chip and hope for the best. This is a BGA chip, so we only have one chance to get this right. We cannot mess it up unless we want to rebuild that chip. I do not have a stencil for this chip, but it can still be rebuilt using a universal stencil. I've done that many times on Ben's key fobs where we had to rebuild the firmware chip. Even though the chip is empty from the middle, and usually solder balls, they accumulate in the middle, we did it many times. So pin number 1 is top left. You cannot miss it. This big round circle, white circle. And that's pin number 1. Hard to miss. Like a long time, my wife was fixing my hair from the back, and she took out a big chunk of my hair. I was still at the office on Devonshire and Balboa, our first office for this business, and my brother was there. And I told him, "Is it showing, my hair from the back?" And he said, "It's hard not to see." So but being a man, why does that matter, right? And my brother is younger than me. I have one brother and 2 sisters. I'm the oldest. Just mixing leaded with unleaded so we can lower the melting temperature of those solder balls. That way we can wick off those balls easily without ripping any pads. Just make sure everything is nice and clean. We're going to use NF.Flux White, which is perfect for BGA reballing. It does not gum up, and it flows awesome. I went over this flux in a separate video, and other people went over this flux as well. If you're in the same type of business or you are doing this as a hobby, you're not going to be able to get anything better. That's what I use every day. You can purchase all your tools directly off our site, one-stop shop. Everything from this amazing microscope, flux, braid wig, tweezers, thermal camera. Some items are out of stock, but we are working on it. Add to cart, checkout, pay, and we almost always ship out same day. If you have ordered from us before, you know how fast we ship. Okay, and now we can reflow. All right, the chip settled in place. Awesome. We tap, it pulls. That means the chip is making a good connection. Let's wait until the board cools down a bit. I do not want to apply alcohol immediately after bombarding that chip with heat. Let it cool down a bit. We can clean the board, and I'll hand this over to Big Boss to reassemble and test. Or before I give it to him to reassemble and test, we can test the 3.3 volt line. Make sure we have it. And then I'll give it to him to reassemble. What are the chances that this will fix the problem? I think we have a very good chance. The chip had a hole in it, and I've worked on a similar issue on a similar laptop before. I have a video on it. Look up MSI laptop repair NorthridgeFix, and you'll find it. Now we can clean the board. Okay, so let's go back to the chip. Where is it? Right here. We're gonna plug the charging cable, and hopefully we have good news. Thermal camera. Charging cable is plugged in, and I do not see any more heat spots on the board. Where's our 1285 chip? I'm looking under the microscope, and we have it right here. That's our 1285 chip. It's no longer getting hot after replacing the Super I/O chip, and that's amazing news. All we have to do is measure. Some viewers, they always ask to display the voltage on the screen. For the time being, you're gonna have to trust what I tell you, and displaying the voltage or the reading on the screen, how does it help you? If I'm telling you the reading, what difference does it make? Unless you do not trust what I'm saying, right? It's personal now. And that's why I'm not gonna get a multimeter that displays the reading on the screen, because it's personal. If I tell you the reading or you see the reading on the screen, what difference does it make? I wanna know. And we have, yes, yes. Okay, let's see if you can see it. Actually, we have a light on this meter, so why not turn the light on? Just one time. I'm gonna hold the multimeter one time. Next time you have to trust what I tell you. So pin number 3, we're gonna count 1, 2, and 3. I do not want to short out pins. And we have 3.3 volts. Okay, and I'm measuring where? Right here. Okay, so we are done. We have 3.3 volts. I'm gonna hand the card over to Big Boss so he can reassemble and test, and I'll be back to finish the video. Big Boss is done with the reassembly, and I told him not to power it on yet. Yes, we do see a light on the power button. Amazing, amazing, awesome. We did it. The laptop is fixed, and the customer is gonna be happy. We're gonna invoice and mail this back to the customer. A lot more laptops to fix, and Big Boss's bench is full. We still have those to finish by tomorrow. Mailman brought them in today. Probably GPUs, laptops, they all look big. All right, so a lot more videos coming up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do something else in the next video.